Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm DarkJack, and in this video, I go nuclear on the map Overflow in Black Ops 2. And you'll notice by the thumbnail of this video, I chose an old Sega ad. It says, the longer you play with it, the harder it gets, referring to the new Sega controller, back when Sega jumped the shark, and I thought that was a pretty funny ad to advertise the console wars. And I titled this video, Why Do Console Wars Exist? And I want to help explain why that is, to make one more video about the console wars before E3. So let's talk about, why do we have console wars in the first place? Why is there competition between PC and Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo? And if you think about it, if every gamer owned every video game console and every video game ever made, there would be no more console wars, because everyone would own every system and every game. But because of our limited resources, because of our limited amount of time, and the high cost of video games and video game consoles, therefore, people feel the need to defend their purchase of a particular game or a console and attack the other ones. When you make a purchase of something that is really expensive, you want to be able to defend your purchase and to believe that you made the right decision in what to buy. And console wars exist because of our lack of resources and time. Console wars exist because economics exists, because we live in a capitalistic society. Or another way of saying it is that console wars exist because money and economics exist. Because we live in a capitalistic society that values choice and competition. And competition is good for business. Because Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo are competing against each other, none of them have monopolies, which would be bad for the consumer. Because we have, as a society and as individuals, we have unlimited wants, but we have limited resources. We would like to be able to buy a Ferrari and a giant $500,000 home, but because of our limited resources, we have to pick and choose wisely what do we spend our money on. And so we are invested in what we have spent our money on, and we want to believe that we made the right choice, and we want to instinctively attack the competition as fanboys. And so when people buy something that is bad, when people make a bad decision on what to spend their money on, they do not want to admit it. And so as individuals, all of us to some degree suffer from confirmation bias. And according to Wikipedia, confirmation bias is the tendency of people to favor information that confirms their beliefs or hypotheses. People display this bias when they gather or remember information selectively, or when they interpret it in a biased way. What that means is that when we examine evidence, we tend to ignore evidence that goes against our beliefs or our purchases, for the case of consumers. And so, for example, when someone buys an Xbox over PlayStation, they have made an investment in Xbox. And it is difficult for them to admit that they made a bad decision or to switch over to the competitor because of their game library. And people want to believe that they have made a good purchase when they buy something, especially if it's something that is very expensive. So what they do is they shut out or attack any information that criticizes their purchase or choice while ignoring the benefits of other products they did not choose to purchase, either because of marketing or because of the price. And so, for example, when you look at the comment section of a negative game review, some fans of the game who bought it knew they tried to defend the game, and they attack the criticisms of the reviewer, even if their criticisms of the game are accurate, because that review of the game calls into question their purchase of the game. And so the reviewer who reviews the game poorly has now become their enemy, even though the reviewer is trying to help them out to make an informed decision. And take, for example, GameSpot's review of Zelda Skyward Sword, which gave the game a 7.5 out of 10, which is a good review by GameSpot standards, but Nintendo fans were really upset in the comment section, and they went ballistic because of it was the lowest review score on Metacritic. And they did that because that review, in their eyes, called into question the value of their decision to stick with Nintendo rather than side with Sony or Microsoft or PC. But if we all had unlimited resources, this would not be a problem. It would not be a problem for those fanboys in the comment section if they had unlimited resources, because they could buy all the other systems and all the other games, and so they would not have to choose Nintendo over another system because of financial reasons. And so console wars exist because money does not exist. And so when you see people in the comment section arguing over one console or another, it's because of their lack of financial resources, because they can't own every console and every game. and very few people have the means to do that. So when you look at the different consoles, the Wii U has a very small game library and no killer apps for it so far. It doesn't have a 3D Mario game or a 3D Zelda game or Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros. Yet. And then when you look at the Xbox One, I made an acronym to describe it, which is ABUK, A-B-U-K, which is always online, not backwards compatible, blocks used games, and connect required. So the Xbox One so far is only worth $1 in my eyes. And then you have the PS4, which is looking like the best next-gen console so far. But PlayStation, though, could go in the same direction as the Xbox One. They could also block used games. They could also be always online and require the PlayStation Eye. And it's not backwards compatible apart from live streaming. And we don't know how much that's going to cost yet. And so we're going to have to wait until after E3 to make an informed decision about the next-gen consoles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.